Pray to Sri Ramakrishna for peace and prosperity. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharmasvarupine Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharmasvarupine Avatar Varishtaya Ramakrishna Te Namah. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God Incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. In the last class, we were dealing with the subject holy association. In the spiritual field, it is very important. It depends upon what type of people you are associated with. Accordingly, you shape your character. If you want to enjoy the world, definitely you should be associated with people who are worldly. Enjoy immensely, as much as you want, till you feel disgusted. Go, have them. But if you want to have the spiritual knowledge, if you want to have spiritual happiness, if you are cherishing to attain peace, you must be associated with the holy people. Without the association with the holy, it is rather very difficult to realize the truth, to communicate with God. One has to be totally free from hypocrisy, and one should be very sincere in his aspiration. Then you must come in contact with holy people. Certainly, you will be immensely benefited. As I said, you will shape your character according to the association you are having. It is possible to get into association with the holy. Only you must desire to be in that association. Personalities like Sri Ramakrishna, they come once in a while, once in an age. They come to show the practical spirituality. People need to know the exact way of living the life to show that incarnations come now and then. These incarnations are the embodiments of spirituality. They are the pathfinders. What and who they are exactly is beyond anyone's mind to access. You can understand them in a small measure only through the disciples who reveal some aspects of the incarnation through their own. Then you may ask a question, should we have to wait till another incarnation comes? No. Though incarnations and saints of high order may not always be present amidst us, it is too much to expect that way. But there are at all times sincere and earnest people treading the path of spirituality or exclusively devoted to God in smaller or greater number. Such people you find everywhere, in every country, here and there. Even in the worst spiritual crisis, they are present, as can be inferred from the words of the Bhagavad Gita, which says that the Divine Lord incarnates for the protection of the good and chastisement of the evil. It's a famous verse in the Bhagavad Gita. There Lord Krishna assures that those who are practicing spirituality sincerely will be helped positively. It is the company of these virtues manifested in the holy people that we should seek. Sri Ramakrishna said, of course I referred this when I started this topic in the last class. He said, one can't know the truth about God through science. People are so much making noise about science, as if science is God. But Sri Ramakrishna tells very emphatically, science will not give you anything about spirituality. Science here means the material science. It only gives us information about things perceived by senses, of things material. For this reason, one cannot comprehend spiritual things with his ordinary intelligence. It requires extraordinary intelligence. It requires special training, special spiritual discipline, special character formation. Then you will be able to comprehend the spiritual things. To understand them properly, you must live in the company of holy persons. These are the words of Sri Ramakrishna in the Gospel. Then he gives a familiar example to illustrate this idea. He takes the example of a physician. You can learn to feel the pulse by living with the physician. Sri Ramakrishna's one favorite phrase which explains the usefulness of holy company is, come here now and then. It's a positive instruction. Not simply going once in a month. Sometimes you may skip that month for some reason. But in order to establish yourself properly on the spiritual ideas, you must come now and then. This he advised all those who had good parts in them, who were spiritually inclined, though themselves did not know of it. Only great persons like Sri Ramakrishna could understand the depth of your personality, the direction you are going. And they would be able to judge whether this person is able to practice spirituality or not. So that is why you see Sri Ramakrishna's instructions vary from person to person. For some persons he tells, renounce everything, come quickly, don't waste a minute more. But to some people Sri Ramakrishna said, go and marry and live ideal household life. To some people Sri Ramakrishna said, you need to perform some duties. So there are different stages. There are different levels. Only Sri Ramakrishna could understand by seeing a person, he would know everything about him. He was a diviner of souls. At the very first sight, he could find out the propensities and possibilities of a person. So, whenever he would come across a person who had a taste for spiritual life, he would repeat this invitation of his. Come here, now and then. And in some cases, where he was sure that a little effort would do immense good to the persons, he kept constant watch over them and had them brought to him. And if they failed to come for any long time due to some reason, or maybe any reason, he would himself seek them out. How does the company of holy persons help? How does it act? Holy persons have known the evanescence of worldly things, and they have also come to know that the only thing that is valuable, the only thing that is covetable, the only thing that is real and existing is God. Having known about it, they are strenuously striving to realize it in their own lives by giving up all desires and by trying to keep constant remembrance of the Divine Lord in many ways. Lord Krishna describes the nature of such holy people in the Bhagavad Gita. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam radayantascha nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Famous verse. chapter 10, verse number 9. These people who are practicing spirituality sincerely and have attained maturity, they give their mind and senses to me, Lord Krishna says, expounding about me to one another, always speaking about me. They spend their time in great joy. These holy people would always talk about the spiritual ideas and discuss about spiritual matters and constantly dwell upon the divine name of the God. So the type of happiness one derives in holy association is totally different from the type of happiness you get through senses, coming in contact with the world or worldly people. In the case of sense pleasures, no doubt you may get little happiness, but it brings in great depression with the passing away of the moment. The happiness that you feel in thinking of God spontaneously wells up from the heart. Its source is perennial, eternal. So in the spiritual joy, you always having the feeling of upliftment. The spiritual joy gives you experience of remarkable peace of mind. You don't want to lose it. Once you get that taste of spiritual joy, once you like that spiritual peacefulness, you don't like anything else afterwards. A glance at a day's routine of Sri Ramakrishna explains the potential creativity of that bliss. What a fine association. Some people would stay with Sri Ramakrishna in order to enjoy the bliss of God. For Sri Ramakrishna, there was neither day nor night. Every hour would bring on him a different divine mood. He was always in divine mood. Always, all the 24 hours. He had very little or no sleep at nights. With him, the nights would pass away in samadhi, totally unconscious of the outer world, enjoying immensely himself in the divine glory of the Supreme God. But whenever any devotees stayed with him, he was careful to see that they are staying there in order to do spiritual practices, not to simply while away their time. You have, whenever you come to the temple or holy association, you must come with this idea. I am going to the temple, I am going to holy association, I must make use of my time in an effective way. I should never misuse it. So Sri Ramakrishna would take personal care of those who stay with him. He would wake them up at 3 o'clock in the morning and ask them positively, go, sit, do meditation. He would direct them. In the small hours of the morning, he would start chanting the names of God. He was totally immersed in his thought, and he was totally unaware of the surroundings as well as of his own body. For hours and hours this would go on. Later in the day, if any devotees stayed with him, he would talk with him on what? On God. And give them helpful instructions. In the afternoon, Sri Ramakrishna used to take rest for a short while. Then, immediately he would try to impart spiritual knowledge to the people around. Some people would be there singing devotional songs. One thing could be noticed throughout Sri Ramakrishna's lifetime. One could see unceasing talks on God. He would talk only about God and spiritual matters till he attained Mahasamadhi. Whole day he was talking about God. Whole day he was giving spiritual instructions. Many times during the singing of songs and in the midst of talks he would go into ecstasy, either being moved by the sentiment of the songs or the mention of a particular approach to God. Thus in his company it was all a veritable mart of joy, supreme, an awareness of God. One could feel that immensely. Sri Ramakrishna, the adept teacher that he was, he discouraged all talks except on God among the devotees. Upanishads declare, Tame vaikan janata atmana manyavacho vimunchata mridasya setu. One of the Upanishads says, know him, the Atman alone, and give up all other vain speech. This is the way to immortality, blessedness, liberation. Sri Ramakrishna lived the truths of the Upanishads and helped others live up to them. To the youngsters, that means who have no idea about these worldly ways of life, Sri Ramakrishna would say, you are pure, you are unsullied, you are untainted by the touch of the world, so you must be careful. Keep away from all attractions of the world. When the plant is young, one should protect it with hedges and keep off the cattle from trampling over it or eating it up. But when the plant grows into a tree, even an elephant can be tied to its trunk. These are the plain words spoken by the holy person, Sri Ramakrishna. Do you want to be spiritual? Then follow all these instructions very meticulously. The holy man is not at all bound by the conventions of society. He is no respecter of persons. Where truths, higher values of life were concerned, he would be plain spoken. However, truth is sometimes bitter, but like medicine, though bitter, should be administered to cure a patient of his disease. Truth, though unpalatable, must be spoken to cure man of his worldly fever. And that only a holy man has the right and courage to do. Sri Ramakrishna said to Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, the great novelist of Bengal, at that period of time, regarding the duties of man. He never minced matters. That's the advantage of a holy man's company. He would correct you if you went wrong. He neither feared nor curried favor with any person. A disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Ramakrishna Ji, the first president of the monastery in Madras, South India. He would speak to the boys who would come to him to the monastery in Madras. Whenever he would speak to them, he would speak about renunciation as the only means to God realization. The parents of the boys, when they heard this way of teaching of Ramakrishna, they were all frightened. What? What is this Swami doing? Teaching renunciation to these boys? They will go away from a home. They become monks. And these parents were helping the monastery in upkeeping the ashram in some way. They all came to the Swami and threatened him that they would withdraw their support if he did not desist from preaching renunciation to the boys. Then Ramakrishna, one of the holiest of holy persons, he said, what? Shall I stop preaching what our master Sri Ramakrishna has taught and shown us as the only goal of life? If you are averse to such advice, withhold your help if you like. I don't care for. If you stop little donation, doesn't matter. Lord will take care of me. He'll take care of my needs. When Ramakrishna said that, it was practically, he meant what he said. It is true, he said. He was depending on Sri Ramakrishna, not on these fellows who throw from $1, $2 and make a big noise. Oh, I've given so much dollar. As if he has given his whole property. What of that? It's a mud. Nothing but mud. Be humble when you contribute something to the holy place. It is humbleness that is important. If you are humble, it is invaluable. Your contribution, $1 is equal to $1 million. If you are humble. If you are egoistic and boastful, $1 million doesn't even worth 1 cent. That's the truth. How undaunted are the holy men. For them, truth is dearer than life itself. And they alone know how to be steadfast to truth. Another occasion, a gentleman had come to monastery in Madras. It's a very good life, Ramakrishna Ji. Please read if you have not read. God lived with them. In that book you have got that. A gentleman came there. Like here, so many gentlemen come to our place. This gentleman, when he came to monastery, what did he do? He pulled out a newspaper to read. Ramakrishna saw it. He became very grave. He rebuked him in a sharp words. Look, you can read that newspaper elsewhere. When you have come to a holy place, think of holy things. We learn from holy persons much that can help us in our spiritual life, if we but care to cultivate their association. See, always come with that idea. I am going to the holy place to absorb the holiness of the place, to absorb the spiritual ideas into my system. Newspaper, in every lane and by-lane newspapers are there. Go and read. Go to library, sit there whole day and read. Coming to the chapel, use the chapel for meditation, use the chapel for prayers. This chapel itself is a holy company to you. Why should you come here and think of worldly things? Every place has got a certain thing to do. Anyway, as Sri Ramakrishna says, if you are struggling to attain liberation before you die, be associated with holy people. That's all. Now I shall read some passage and I shall continue the same topic next Tuesday also. Little more to be told. Page 583. Master said smilingly, I can recognize a worshipper of the formless by looking at his face and eyes. Please dive a little deeper. One does not get the gem by floating on the surface. As for myself, I accept all, the formless God and God with form. The Marwari devotees from Bura Bazar entered the room and saluted the Master. He began to praise them. Master said to the devotees, oh, they are real devotees of God. They visit temples, sing hymns to God and eat prasad. And the gentleman whom they have made their priest this year is learned in the Bhagavata. Marwari devotee, who is this I that says, O Lord, I am thy servant? Master said, this is the Linga Sharira or embodied soul. It consists of Manas, Buddhi, Chitta and Ahankara. Devotee asked, who is the embodied soul? Master said, it is the Atman bound by the 8 fetters. And what is the Chitta? It is the I consciousness that says, ah. Devotee asked, Revered Sir, what happens after death? Sri Ramakrishna answered, according to the Gita, one becomes afterwards what one thinks of at the time of death. King Bharata thought of his deer and became a deer in his next life. Therefore, one must practice sadhana in order to realize God. If a man thinks of God day and night, he will have the same thought in the hour of death. Devotee asked, Why don't we feel this passion toward worldly objects? Master said, because of Maya. Through Maya, one feels the real to be the unreal and the unreal to be the real. The real means that which is eternal, the Supreme Brahman, and the unreal means that which is non-eternal, that is to say the world. Devotees asked, what? We read the scriptures, why is it that we can't assimilate them? Master, what will one accomplish by mere reading? One needs spiritual practice, austerity, call on God. What's the use of merely repeating the word Siddhi? One must eat a little of it. The hand bleeds when it touches a thorny plant. Suppose you bring such a plant and repeat sitting near it. There, the plant is burning. Will that burn the plant? This world is like the thorny plant. I light the fire of knowledge and with it set the plant ablaze. Only then will it be burnt up. One must labor a little while at the stage of sadhana. Then the path becomes easy. Steer the boat around the curves of the river and then let it go with the favorable wind. As long as you live inside the house of Maya, as long as there exists the cloud of Maya, you don't see the effect of the sun of knowledge. Come outside the house of Maya, give up lust and gold, and then the sun of knowledge will destroy ignorance. A lens cannot burn paper inside the house. If you stand outside, then the rays of the sun fall on the lens and the paper burns. Again, the lens cannot burn the paper if there is a cloud. The paper burns when the cloud disappears. The darkness of the mind is destroyed only when a man stands a little apart from lust and gold, and thus standing apart practices a little austerity and spiritual discipline. Then only does the cloud of his ego and ignorance vanish. Then only does he attain the knowledge of God. This lust and gold is the only cloud that hides the sun of knowledge. We shall stop here. Any questions? Any doubts about holy association? All the Mahatmas, they tell about this holy association. That's the only way to fight all our bad samskaras. That's the only way. Any question? No question, no answer. And we shall stop. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust, raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree, take no honor to thyself, give honor to all, chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord of the soul, O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust, all the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence. Though it tears my soul asunder, O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works be satisfied, for he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.